So Spurs have now got a massive game on Sunday against Sunderland. Well, they're all massive games, really. The Zerbi coming in now. Can we get an instant reaction? Can Spurs get a first win of the year, really? Not one this year, not showing any signs of winning, but hopefully we can do it. Big up to everyone that's subscribed and liked. If you can give me a sub and a like, it doesn't cost you anything, but it'll be much appreciated. I'm going to talk a bit about the game, a bit about Sunday. So stick around and hopefully you like my content. So Spurs, yeah, massive game on Sunday. Sunderland, I've only lost 3 games at home all season. So this just shows how hard the Premier League is. Sunderland, you wouldn't expect them to be where they are. Fair play to them, though. They're a really good side. But, you know, by right, they're actually punching above their weight. They've got some good players, but I think Spurs in general have got some good players themselves. Not, we're not a great side. We're not, European place side, but we're definitely not relegation side either. But the players have just lacked fight and belief all season now. The last time we see Spurs play well was against Man City on the second game of the season. I've not seen us play well since, but we always get a result against Man City, don't we? It's a game that we've always tended to do well in. But it's going to be a tough game. There's only 7 games to go. 7 cup finals, really. Massive games for Spurs to stay in this Premier League. Do I believe that Zerbi's the right man? At first, I was a bit sceptical, but yeah, I do believe he's the right man. He plays the football we want, and I know people are frustrated, or I'm not sure about him because remarks he's made in the past about Greenwood and players like that. But at the end of the day, Greenwood's never been charged with the crime, even though it's pretty obvious that something went on. He was never charged, and what was Zerbi supposed to do? All he was doing was backing his player at the end of the day. But he's our manager now, and I just see his press conference today, and he's talking like a Spurs manager. He's stuck up for the fans. Frank, you never got that with the fans. You always heard him say stuff like, the players need the fans, it doesn't help with the booing. But Zerbi's basically said, the fans need the players to step up, and they do. These players might not be in the summer, and I think a lot of them will go, and there'll probably be a clear out, and we'll bring in other players, and that's fine. But having a relegation on your CV isn't going to help them at all. A lot of these players probably think they'll go to the Real Madrids, the Atletico Madrids, the Barcelonas, or whatever top clubs, but they're part of the reason. They're part of the reason we're in this situation. There's a lot of players here that think that they're actually better than what they are, but they're not. They're not as good as they think they are. Van de Ven, attitude problem. Romero, attitude problem. Romero's supposed to be a captain, for fuck's sake, and he walks around like he's brilliant, like he struts around like he owns the place. He walks, he's a World Cup winner, but that doesn't mean anything. That does not mean anything at all. I mean, Danny Drinkwater's a Premier League winner. Does that make him a great player? No, in my opinion, no. There's players out there that have won trophies who are not great players, in my opinion. They're just part of a great team. And Romero won the World Cup because of Messi. Anyone who's in that team would win the World Cup. They've got some great players. But Romero and Van de Ven are part of the problem. They're part of the reason we are struggling. They're not the main reason, but they are a big part of it. Romero getting sent off stupidly. Van de Ven the other week getting sent off. Stupid mistake he made. Van de Ven Van de Ven as a defender, I don't know if he's good as a defender. And I know I'm going to be saying this now because he obviously wants to leave, but he's fast. I've looked at him, he's fast, but without his pace, he wouldn't be that good. I don't think he can defend that well. And Romero, on his day, is brilliant, but he doesn't have that often. He has a click in him. He's a mistake in him. But that's not them. There's other players as well. The recruitment team over the years has really not done us any justice. We've been all over the place. Recruitment team haven't signed us the players that we needed. Medical staff useless. What's happening with all the injuries? And And then we have a setback that Tudors isn't available now for this game. And it's probably out for the rest of the season. Like that, it's just when it rains, it bloody pours at Tottenham, and it's just it's never ending. Never have any good luck. But I hope these players now need to step up. They need to step up. They've got massive games ahead. And then if we can just manage to stay in the league, then we'll reevaluate in summer and in summer and go again, and hopefully we'll never be in this situation ever again. But it's a massive game. I'm predicting Spurs to win 2-1. I just think we have to win. It's a must win. I just think we will get the result. But I've said that a few times this season, that Spurs have let us down. But I just think we will get the result. But so I'm going Spurs 2-1. Drop your comments below what you think. Give me a like and a sub. We're much appreciated. And I'll see you on tonight's show at 8:30. And if anyone wants to come on, they can. But just one more thing to say before I go, and that is, come on, you Spurs, don't let us down.